Allays fears about the airline's imminent demise.
And scores turn out as Prime Minister hosts first local business forum.
Another assurance is provided UWI Antigua campus will open in September.
And another act of kindness toward residents of the Fines Institute. ABS News at 7 starts now.
The local evening news is brought to you by Nagico, local agents Bryson's Insurance.
So much for joining us for the evening news here on ABS, Antigua's most trusted name in news. My name is Garfield Burford.
And I'm Sharon Miller-Taswell. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday evening. We begin with a developing story. Liat will remain in the skies. That was a firm assurance from Prime Minister the Honorable Gaston Browne ahead of a key meeting today with colleague heads of government.
That's right, Sharon. It's an unfolding story as we speak because Antigua and Barbuda and the three other shareholder governments hunkered down in talks right here in Antigua, the headquarters of Liat, on a rescue plan for the beleaguered carrier. Here's more. The message from Prime Minister Browne heading into the meeting was clear.
As far as we're concerned, the issue of the collapse of Liat is not up for discussion. We look at the challenges, and I'm quite sure that the heads will find creative ways to resolve those issues.
The Prime Minister's tone differed sharply from his colleague, Dr. Ralph Gonzalez, who had all but announced the obituaries for the carrier. PM Browne later doubled down on the assurance minutes before the meeting.
The whole issue of collapsing Liat, that has to be taken off the agenda for sure. So we don't wish to be engaged in any such discussion. It's unhelpful. I believe that the heads are fully aware of the importance of Liat and that we have to do all we can to ensure its sustainability and its viability.
Fitting that the meeting of heads of government took place at the headquarters of the regional carrier in Antigua. In the past, some companies have been said to be too big to fail. No such comment here from the head of government regarding Liat, but his message was clear about the role of the regional carrier.
Ultimately, we want to place Liat on the path of sustainability to ensure its long-term viability, to protect jobs, and at the same time to make sure that Liat continue to fly and to make its contribution towards regional development, and especially that very important contribution in terms of ensuring regional connectivity.
He assured there would be a pragmatic and measured approach to keeping the carrier in the air.
And where we have to, as government, give Liat the necessary support, not to suggest that we should subsidize business malpractice or inefficiencies, but where we have to give Liat support to ensure its sustainability, I think we all have an obligation so to do.
The region waits with bated breath for the outcome of those talks. Let's stay with the news about the carrier because the government of St. Kitts and Nevis has decided to inject over $1 million EC into regional carrier Liat. A press release from the St. Kitts and Nevis government headquarters reveals the country's federal cabinet decided to provide the emergency funding at a meeting over the weekend. High-level representatives from Liat made a presentation to the federal cabinet on the 11th of March. Now, in the meeting, they indicated the cash-strapped regional airline required immediate financial assistance from countries that benefit from its operations. The Liat representatives also proposed for the government of St. Kitts and Nevis to enter into a minimum revenue guarantee arrangement with the airline. The St. Kitts and Nevis government's decision comes on the recommendations of an advisory committee that was created to review Liat's proposals. Now, the government of St. Kitts and Nevis adds it agrees in principle with it participating in an MRG, that's a minimum revenue guarantee arrangement, on the basis of further discussions and negotiations with high-level representatives of the airline will keep across this major developing story. Remember, of course, that the shareholder governments met right here in Antigua this afternoon. We'll keep you across the outcome of those talks as soon as we get them.
And Prime Minister the Honorable Gaston Browne is adamant the fourth landed campus of the University of the West Indies will be established in Antigua in September. The head of government gave the assurance during an interview with ABS News. However, he did not elaborate on his statements over the weekend that some countries in the region were opposing the move because of petty insularity.
We are not overly concerned about the anxieties and whatever insular issues our colleagues may have. We think ultimately, it's a fait accompli and that we're ready and we'll be opening up the doors of the university come September.
Well, the government says the campus has been approved in principle and full sign-off is expected on May 30th. Attorney General, the Honorable Sedroy Benjamin, and Education Minister, the Honorable Michael Brown, were in Trinidad and Tobago last week for the last meeting of the University Council.
Another developing story that we're keeping across as well. Now, scores of local business operators participated in the first Prime Minister's Business Forum today. The event provided a platform for an exchange of ideas on how to further improve conditions for businesses to grow sustainably in Antigua and Barbuda. Our news team was at the event at the Sandals Grand Resort today. Engaging discussions.
Even if you have a billion-dollar company, pardon me, that doesn't mean you cannot be inspired by an individual like myself, because I will be there soon. You better believe it, you know? So, blessed love mouse.
Putting their money where their mouth is.
I see you making some noise just the other day about the whole question of the brewery. You're wasting your time as a Prime Minister. You're wasting time. Lease me the property. I am serious.
Suggestions made.
My plea here is for the rest of your government to pick up like Minister Green and let us get this Adopt an Entrepreneur program really going with government and private sector.
It was a platform for discussions and analysis on what more is needed to provide a greater boost to businesses in the Twin Islands state. There was a focus on entrepreneurship. The Prime Minister said the government has this as a major goal.
We want to broaden the domestic ownership class, bringing business prosperity to more Antiguans and Barbudans. We also bring in new increased awareness of the unexploited and unexploited entrepreneurial opportunities, to include the traditional businesses and two areas that we would like you to flag as well for potential investments. The blue and digital economies.
There were many entrepreneurs in the audience and they were keen on sharing their experiences and making suggestions. Prime Minister Brown also had a major announcement regarding fresh opportunities to arise in the country's main revenue earning sector, tourism.
Tomorrow I meet with an investor out of Sharjah, a bank that is taking over the Kaluki project, and we're hoping to accelerate the construction of that hotel. And there are several other projects that are taking place, and I'm sure they'll manifest themselves in due course.
He was pleased with the turnout.
Ordinarily, we would have gotten a larger space if we had known the demand would have been so strong. And I have to tell you, our office was inundated with requests for invitations, but we just could not accommodate them because of the relatively small space here at Sandals. Next time we may have to choose a venue like maybe the AUA conference facility or the multipurpose center.
What is being called a strategic roadmap is to be developed out of these discussions. Both the government and the business community will then be able to monitor implementation once recommendations are mutually agreed. More such engagements are being promised in the future.
Well, security agencies across the region are currently attending a training seminar meant to improve management efficiency region-wide. Well, feedback so far has been positive. ABS's Rakib Aparicio filed this report.
I've learned a lot. Coming from the customs background, this course is primarily military-based, so there was quite a few new ideas pitched at us.
The Management Staff and Command Training Seminar 2019 began on the 25th of March.
The expectation, as indicated, is to increase their ability, to strengthen their ability to communicate among themselves, among the security groups, among security agencies, but also with the general population that they serve.
Major Benjamin says the participants are coming from all over the region. They tell ABS the training is beneficial to their fields.
The importance of leadership and leading by example.
Leading by example?
Yes. Persons normally motto what they see rather than what they hear.
Managerial responsibilities and functioning. This course places a lot of emphasis on your roles and responsibilities as managers.
Currently, the participants are working on their communication skills.
You're not going to be able to get anywhere without it. You have to be able to relay information effectively between parties in order to be able to understand each other.
Communications consultant Anika Kentish says being able to communicate effectively with the public does wonders for a public office.
It's the same way that when people don't hear from law enforcement and they start to get suspicious and they wonder why are they hiding information and so on. But then if they learn how to communicate better and learn how to communicate the information in a timely manner, it tends to bring trust within the community. And that's really what is at the heart of what's going on here, to improve their communication skills so that they can be better performers in the workplace and that they can better communicate to the public.
She says communication across the police force has improved greatly within the past few years. The training seminars will conclude on the 17th of May. Rakib Aprisi reporting for ABS News.
And participants will debate each other Wednesday, focusing on the regional security services and the legalization of marijuana.
Another story that we're tracking now, the president of the Association of Caribbean Media Workers, the ACM, has given her take on the Reporters Without Borders report. The yearly RSF publication rates journalism for 180 countries. Antigua and Barbuda, which was grouped with the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, the OECS, fell 15 spots from 35 to 50. ABS's Jessica Russell has our report.
The Reporters Without Borders, or RSF, report says there is a lack of training reducing the quality of journalism within the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States. Association of Caribbean Media Workers President Anika Kentish says there are different reasons for this.
A lot of it has to do with things pertaining to professionalism and training. And so there's a lot of concern with the fact that compared to the larger countries, like Jamaica, for example, where you have a long history going back several decades with multiple media houses and opportunities for training. And
she says people in Antigua tend to enter the field accidentally.
A lot of people kind of stumble into the profession, and so they may not necessarily have been in school saying, I want to be a reporter, I want to be a producer. We're not at that stage right now. So there are people who, well, let me look for something to do. Well, okay, let me just try out this job on TV and see how it works.
The report also says political interference plagues journalism in the sub-region.
That's just the nature of it. In a bigger society, when you have more and more media houses, you tend to have those that are far right, far left, those that are more political, those that are less political, and then you have more of them in the middle. In a smaller society, when you don't have as many, you're going to find that, you may have more media houses that tend to have a particular angle or a particular side.
She says despite the challenges, a career in journalism is worthwhile.
If you didn't have journalists, a lot of people would not be informed about things that happen in their community, things that happen in their country, things that happen around the world.
Jessica Russell, ABS News.
A lot of big information today, huh? That's
Indeed,
nice.
indeed. And so much more to come, especially from that Prime Minister's Business Forum. And of course, we're keeping across that Leon story.
I'm telling you, it's constantly evolving. It's going to be interesting to see what happens from here.
Absolutely.
Yes.
All right, stay with us right here on the ABS Evening News, because still to come,
we are live at English Harbor for Reggae in the Park. Terry Andrew will update us coming up.
All right, so much more still to come.
At Nagico, the things that matter to you matter to us. Like knowing you're covered when your house gets flooded, getting your settlements quickly and fairly when a fire hits your home, and making sure your business can keep going even after an accident happens on site. At Nagico, we're about much more than just insurance. We're about the big things and the small things that mean everything.
Thank you so much for staying with us right here on the ABS Evening News. Let's look at this story now. The Fines Institute is once again on the receiving end of a kind gesture. The Antigua Commercial Bank, ACB, made the timely donation today.
For this year, we have donated a commercial stove to the Fines Institute. That donation was spoken to during the annual Christmas celebration. So today, we are here to make the formal presentation. It is already the stove is already in use.
That donation earlier this week. Now, the 2 sets of oxygen regulators were also donated to the institution. Walton Edwards, Master of Fines, expresses appreciation.
We are indeed happy and thankful for the contribution made by the Antigua Commercial Bank. The previous item that we had, the appliance, was, dilapidated and out of use. So it was really a timely contribution that you made at that time.
He adds that the appliance is the only stove and is being put to very good use. The ACB has maintained a great bond and partnership with the Institute over the years and looks forward to continuing its support. ACB's Marketing and Public Relations Executive Seth Burton urged the public to also support the institution and its residents.
Generous donation. Very nice. Well, parents of students at St. Peter's Academy who rely on the bus service for their children can rest a little bit easier today. A shelter has been provided for them from traffic and the elements with the construction of a bus shed on All Saints Road. The design for the bus shed was conceptualized by architect Daryl Benjamin. Well, ABS's Leah Norval was at the opening ceremony. That was to the parliamentary representative for the area, Honorable Sedroy Benjamin. There we go. Got it out.
All smiles Tuesday morning as teachers, students, and the principal celebrated the completion of an important project. The bus shed will not only serve the students of the school, but also residents in the Belmont community.
And we're very, very happy this morning to be handing over this beautiful bus shed to the Belmont community. The bus shed was sponsored by the grade 6 class as part of their social studies SBA.
We were tasked with we had to find the community problem and fix it. So we brainstormed a bunch of problems and we settled and decided that we were going to fix this problem.
Without the bus shed, students were exposed to the risk of a busy highway and the effects of the elements, the problem that has plagued the 2 schools within the area.
On All Saints Road here, it's very busy. There's lots of traffic, lots of accidents. And the kids stand on the side of the road after school.
On behalf of the staff and students of the St. Peter's Academy, I now present this bus shed to the Belmont community.
This school, the St. Peter's Academy, is my adopted school. And myself and the principal and the teachers have worked together to ensure that we present the children with a safe area where they can sit and wait for the bus.
I'm very excited and I'm happy for the students who catch the bus daily. I feel happy so that the students could have shade from the rain and sun from standing in the afternoon.
Leon Norville for ABS News.
All right, very nice. Thanks, Leon. Absolutely. In a second, we'll go to Terry Andrew, but first, let's tell you about this one. Antigua and Barbuda's romantic offerings as a tourist destination just received another major boost. Travelers journeying to the Twin Island nation to exchange their vows now have more options to choose from. 25 new hotel employees have been qualified as wedding event coordinators. They participated in a course organized by the Antigua Hotels and Tourist Association, the AHTA, in partnership with the Wedding Planner Institute of Canada, the WPIC. Now, the training program sought to ensure the destination stands out above the crowd by offering exceptional planning services. Now, the course, facilitated by Daniel Andrews of WPIC, was held on the 23rd and the 24th of April at the Antigua and Barbuda Hospitality Training Institute, Hospitality Training Institute. Now, coursework included topics such as coordination of the wedding, start to finish, wedding etiquette, marketing and phases of wedding coordination. 14 hotels, including Pineapple Beach Club, the Galley Bay Resort and Spa, and Hermitage Bay, participated in the event.
Very nice. It looks like more people can also get training on this as well, so that's great.
Indeed. So more options available.
Yes.
And it will certainly give a fillip to this destination as one of the best honeymoon destinations
so a lot
in
of
the
people
world.
come here to get married and honeymoon, so now
Absolutely.
they can get it all right here. Love it.
Indeed.
All right, so a signature feature of Antigua Sailing Week is taking place tonight.
That's right, Sharon, because Reggae in the Park will leave patrons rocking in English Harbour this evening. And for the very latest in the atmosphere there as we speak, ABS's Terry Andrew joins us on the telephone. Good evening, Terry. Hi, good evening, Terry.
Hi, hello.
Yes,
Hi.
We're hearing you.
Yes, I can hardly hear you, but go ahead.
Oh, okay, let's tell us what's happening.
Yes.
There you go.
Hello?
Hi, Terry. Tell us what's happening. Set the scene for us. Tell us about all the action.
Oh, hi guys. Well, we just made it over to Nelson's Dockyard, and just as we were walking in, the national anthem was playing. So we actually got here right in time for the start, and I mean, so far it's a modest crowd. I've just gotten into the stage area, in front of the stage area, and people are still coming in. Of course, we passed a number of people at the entrance, just making their way inside to Reggae in the Park. But of course, it's the 10th edition of Reggae in the Park over here at the Nelson's Dockyard, with featuring acts like Christopher Martin and Junior Kelly, and Antigua's own on there with a number of DJs as well. And it is an event that a number of people look forward to during the sailing week.
Absolutely. So you said it's a modest crowd so far, but it's building as we speak. What about the arrangements in terms of parking and so on? That was a little chaotic last year, wasn't it? But
yes,
how was it
certainly. And at this time, you know, it's especially where Nelson's Dockyard is situated, it's a one-way in, one-way out sort of deal. So they've employed the park and ride system as well, where shuttles will be available from Falmouth area, and you know, you could park over there and catch the shuttle lane. I'm not certain if it's a fee, but I think it was $5 at times. I gotta check that back out. But for now, the traffic coming in was pretty smooth. We didn't have any problems at all coming in. Of course, we were in the ABS vehicle, but still, there was not much traffic coming in. So I mean, if folks leave home now, well, then again, all the folks are going to leave home at the same time, and there will be a bottleneck somewhere around Cops Cross School. But as it is right now, there's not much traffic on the road over here to Nelson's Dockyard.
Okay, and Terry, you know, I've never been to Reggae in the Park, so when the caravan leaves the station after the show to head out there, do we need to bring our own chairs, or how does it work? Do you bring your blanket and sit on the ground?
Yes, listen, I've seen some beach chairs around.
Okay.
I've seen folks coming in with their beach chairs and their umbrella, you know, just in case the rain pops up. But it's a standing area, and even though how the Nelson's Dockyard is situated, it's a standing area in front of the stage. But you can bring your beach chair if you want to take a seat.
Taking the beach to Reggae in the Park. And of course, that explains why you're not on set this evening, Terry, with us, as
certainly.
usual.
But Sharon, there'll be enough room for you to dance and enjoy yourself. You won't need your chair.
So I won't need my chair? Okay.
You won't need a chair to sit down. There's enough music to make you dance over here all night, Sharon.
Maybe that's a good excuse for me not to embarrass myself. I'll just sit down. I can't move. You don't want to see my moves.
All right. Thank you very much, Terry. Really appreciate it. We look forward to hearing more from you at 10 o'clock when you can give us another update. Thanks.
All right. Certainly.
All right,
Have a good
no
one.
worries,
And it looks like you can still get your tickets at the door for 145 EC. So it's going to be a fun time.
There you
Have
go.
gone?
Absolutely.
You've been at work all the time, right?
No comment.
Okay, all right. We'll get out there eventually. All right, very
All right.
good.
Time now for us to look at what's coming up tomorrow.
Good evening, I'm Natalie Clark-White. Wednesday morning on Antigua Barbuda Today, Antigua Barbuda Defense Force has a new look. And there'll be updates and a review on what's trending with them. In the season for Queen of the Form, this week it's Clare Hall Secondary School. Looking for a great way to get in shape for the greatest summer festival, Carnival? Red Cross has an ultimate fitness challenge April to July. And we'll remind you of what fun you and your friends can have on Pigeon Point Beach at the Wadadley Bear Antigua Sailing Week Lay Day. Join us Wednesday on Antigua Barbuda Today at 6.
Seems like we want to fast forward the clock because we want to join Natalie tomorrow. She already looks so excited about what's coming up. You have to join us at 6.
Exactly. I wanted to learn more about that Ultimate Fitness challenge. That's maybe intimidating, but
Our sportsman should know about it.
you
shouldn't
know
fit.
about it. Yeah, you could probably do it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Welcome, Joel.
Yeah.
Good to be here.
Absolutely fascinating.
And you know why I'm here?
Yes, of course.
Well, you called me today. You let me know that Ajax played against Tottenham today. So I've got to be on standby because should Tottenham lose, we know Terry's not too coherent when Tottenham lose, and so says so does some here.
I mean, I trust Joel to just let out Terry's secret, right? You're saying he's weeping and mourning right now?
Terry can't even defend himself. Poor guy. Yeah, that's all right.
There you go. Well, he has Reggae in the Park to try to get
He
some
does.
consolation.
He'll be fine.
There you go. All right, over to you, Joel.
Well, of course, it's about sailing because as we spoke about, and the race is taking place. And so, Jano, that's a big boat, winning his 5th race today. So we have all that to talk about. Also, we're here at Cricket West Indies. There is a bit of a financial bother. Now the new president is in. He's realizing that the situation is worse off, than they actually thought at first. And we're now hearing also that the selectors, the farm selectors, they are suing. So I don't know how you sue if there's no money. I don't know if West Indies Cricket Board headed to bankruptcy, but I guess we'll know about that later.
We shall see.
Yeah,
We
that's
shall
all
see.
coming up right after the break.
Absolutely.
Stay with us.
All right.